What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big Tuesday, February 2nd NCAA basketball show. To check out the entire show, hit the link on the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. Let's go to work. Max starts with the 2 p.m. Eastern special. Gamblers love this game. It helps them get through their workday. UMBC Retrievers 10-4, 6-3 in the American East at NJIT Highlanders 6-7, 5-6 in the American Eastern Conference. Let me make sure I've got this all ready to go. Move over to perfect. Here we go. We're at the NJIT Wellness and Event Center in Newark, New Jersey. Sorry about this. Should have had this all set up for you, Max. And here we go. Not getting a line when I needed one here. So let's break this game down and let me dig a little deeper for a line here. These teams met on Sunday in a surprise 69-65 NJIT win. 6'10" UMBC senior Brandon Horvath went for 11 points and 11 boards in the loss. He leads the team with 14.6 points and 8.5 boards. Guard RJ Idlerock led the Retrievers with 16 points. He averages 13.1 points on the year. They are the only two players averaging double digits for this team. They average 69.4 points per game and don't get much distribution with just 11.4 assists per game. They shoot 43.7% from the field, 70.7% from the foul line, and 43.7% from the I did that twice. So 43.7% from the field and 70.7% from the foul line. Senior guard Zach Cook went for 15 points in NJIT's win. 5'10" guard leads the team, averaging 14.2 points per game. Backcourt mate Dylan O'Hearn averages 11.8 points per game. 6'8" senior San Antonio Brinson averages 10.8 points per game and stretches defense, hitting 46.4% from three. NJIT averages 66.9 points per game, and they have even worse distribution with just 9.6 assists per game. They hit 40.7% from the field, 33.3% from three, and 68.4% from the foul line. Poor foul line shooting almost cost them in the first meeting with UMBC as they went just 9 for 18 from the stripe. Max, you start your card off with UMBC at NJIT. And while I'm looking for the line that I can't get right now, let us know where you got it at and where it's moved.
Yeah, Jim, I got this line at UMBC -3 and a total of 134.5. I'm now seeing 135s and 135.5s around at other outs that I can use. And with this game, I think that this is a very prototypical zigzag type spot. I think that with UMBC losing the first game and losing in the fashion that they lost, I think that you do get a better shooting performance from your 2 3-point specialists in one that you already mentioned in RJ Idlerock and then LJ Owens. I think that with NJIT, we have seen them play well in the first game. This last game against UMBC was the first one that they cashed a money line dog ticket. So if you were on them, you're definitely feeling nice and fat and great. And you got a little thrown to the pot in the second game. Unfortunately, I think that this is where NJIT has been at a disadvantage. We do recall the UMass Lowell series where they were able to have a convincing win in the first game, and with some film and with some experience playing them on the floor, they were able to reverse that fortune in the second game. I think we're going to see a similar thing here. I will point out that we have seen home teams shoot better in the second game of these back-to-backs instead of the road team. But when I look at UMBC and then I look at NJIT, I have to remember this is the American East Conference where home court means probably the least amount of most of the mid-major conferences that I follow closely. I think that with this UMBC team, they're better in a slow tempo, and they haven't been a good favorite. So if you get hung up on that, it could distract you from where you really should be, which is on the retriever side. The bottom line, Jim, is sometimes stats can be a little misleading. this UMBC team is quite talented, in my opinion. Darnell Rogers at 5'2", running the point, leading the way, and being able to hit the three, and he's an ace at the free throw line himself. The fact that he's able to facilitate and run this offense in the way that he does is definitely special. You have a three-headed monster in front court gems that you can use, whether it be Brandon Horvat, who can run the floor and hit a three, whether it be Dmitry Spestovic, who can get down low, get you an offensive rebound, get you a quick putback and a trip to the free throw line. And then, of course, Daniel Kin, who's just all power and coming back from injury. So it is necessary to point that out. But this is a UMBC team that, yeah, you got me once. You're not going to get me twice. I think that this is still an ASUN quality roster and bunch of recruits that are playing for this NJIT team. And I think that when you look at it, Kennedy's going to be the X factor for UMBC with his versatility, with his ability to go off and get to the rim and his defending skills. I just don't see NJIT being able to do it again. Listen, they did a good job with turnovers. You mentioned ball movement and facilitation, but the reality is Zach Cooks is not scoring 20 points per game. That's what they need from him. There's more of a divided role when it comes to who takes what shots and when, and I think that's going to be the detriment to NJIT and the Highlanders tomorrow. I think that this is a UMBC team that's going to do a good job of hitting threes. They're going to cut down on some of their turnovers, and they're just going to do a better job of limiting NJIT's bench production. I think that they have to win the turnover battle, and they got to play a full 40 minutes, not 20. If they played full 40, they're covering three, and I think that this game's going over, but for show purposes, I'm only going to take UMBC -3.
And I can get you that. Only one book of the legal licensed books in America that Max has to use on this show for record-keeping purposes is dropping it for us, and that's Circa Sports. Circa Sports is giving us the -3 at -110. So I'm going to lock that in. But you also, not for show purposes, but you also do have a lean to the over?
Yes, I do. I think that this game is going to be close. I do think that there will be fouls, and although UMBC is better suited for a slower tempo game, I do think that there will be times in this game that it does get a little more high scoring.
All right, Max gets his card started at 2 p.m. Eastern with the UMBC Retrievers, -3, -110. That's available at Circa Sports.